The emergency fund advice most people repeat is only half the answer. You have probably heard that you need 3 to 6 months of expenses saved, and that is not bad advice. But it can lead to two very different mistakes. Some people save far too little because they base the number on a rough guess. And other people keep far too much cash sitting around because they never decide when the emergency fund is actually finished. Welcome to Dan Talks Money. This video is for education only, not personal financial advice. By the end, you will have a simple, UK-friendly framework for working out how much emergency cash might make sense, where to keep it, and when to stop adding to it. Let us start with the biggest mistake. Most people think their emergency fund should be based on their salary. But your emergency fund is not really there to replace your salary. It is there to cover your essential costs if life goes wrong. Rent or mortgage, council tax, food, utilities, insurance, transport, minimum debt payments, childcare, if that applies to you. That means the first number is not your income. It is your monthly essential spending. Here is a simple example. Imagine someone takes home £2,400 a month, but their essential bills come to £1,400. A 3-month emergency fund is not 3 months of income. It is roughly 3 months of essentials. So in this example, 3 months would be about £4,200. 6 months would be about £8,400. That range is much more useful than simply guessing. Now, Step Change, the UK debt charity, says it is sensible to build savings for emergencies and suggests aiming for at least 3 months of living expenses where possible. But the words "where possible" matter. If you are starting from zero, the first goal is not perfection. It is your first small buffer. £500 can stop a broken washing machine becoming credit card debt. £1,000 can make a car repair less stressful. The first milestone is not 6 months. The first milestone is breathing room. Once you have that starter buffer, then you can think about your full emergency fund. And this is where your personal risk matters. If you have stable income, low fixed costs, no dependents, and family support nearby, 3 months of essentials may feel very different. If you are self-employed, on variable income, supporting children, renting in an expensive area, or working in an unstable industry, you may want a bigger cushion. The point is not that everyone needs the same number. The point is that your number should match your real life. Now let us talk about where the money should sit. An emergency fund is not trying to be exciting. It is not there to beat the stock market. It is not there to chase crypto returns. It is there to be safe, separate, and accessible. For most people, that means a cash savings account that is easy to access, while still keeping it separate from everyday spending. In the UK, eligible deposits with authorized banks, building societies, and credit unions are protected by the Financial Services Compensation Scheme up to the current protection limit per person per authorized firm. So, before keeping large amounts in one place, it is worth checking that the account is FSCS protected and understanding the limit that applies. Now, here is the other side of the mistake. Once your emergency fund is full, more cash is not always better. If you keep saving endlessly into the emergency pot, you might delay other important goals: paying down expensive debt, contributing to a pension, saving for a house deposit, investing for the long term, or simply enjoying life in a planned way. Cash is useful, but too much cash can have an opportunity cost. So the better framework is this. Step 1. Work out your monthly essentials, not your monthly income. Step 2. Build a starter buffer first, even if it is only a few £100s. Step 3. Choose a target range based on your risk. 3 months might suit some people. 6 months or more may suit others. Step 4. Keep the money safe, separate, and accessible. Step 5. Once the fund is full, give your next pound a new job. That might be debt, pensions, investing, or another savings goal. The emergency fund mistake is not just having too little, it is never defining what enough looks like. So here's the question to ask yourself. If your income stopped tomorrow, how many months could you cover the essentials without borrowing? Not the perfect lifestyle, just the essentials. That one number tells you a lot. If this was useful, subscribe to Dan Talks Money for calm, practical money lessons without the hype. And in the comments, tell me this. What feels harder right now? Building the emergency fund or knowing when to stop?